All right, let's clap it up. All right, Shalom, DC, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started up on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible, and the truth is that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. I'm not affiliated with any other Christian organization or Hebrew Israelite group.
Right.
1 West is home with the truth.
Right.
I'm priest and officer of 500 Bakwashia, holding it down for captain of 13,000 Mashak Mayam. He'll be here momentarily. If you have any questions, please type your questions in the chat room. Type your question in the chat room. Get your questions started. If you could, Slakia, minimize this screen. And there's another screen, the clubhouse. Yeah, minimize the whole joint. Yeah, clubhouse should be in the back. Just hit where it says type in the room.
It's in the back. It's not in the back.
It's not in the back. Okay, well go down to the bottom. It should be down in the bottom. Move the cursor all the way down to the bottom, and you should see where the clubhouse is.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just click that. It comes up.
Deck.
Yeah.
Club deck.
Yeah. And it should have a space where it says enter title. Where you see where it says title? Yeah.
I see Wednesday night scripture breakdown. That's what right here.
No, it should be blank where it says enter a title. Where right above where it says start a room.
Right above. Topics. I see topics.
Don't worry about it. I'll get it later. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If anybody has any questions, if anybody have any questions, please type them in the chat. Type them in the chat, and we'll get to them. We'll get to them. You got something?
There's a question in the chat.
Yeah, I seen that question. I'm gonna let Cap handle that. I'm gonna let Cap handle that. But tonight's topic, and which is basically the topic of what in the world is going on nowadays, is right now we're in the midst of two of the seals. Right now we got plague and we got famine happening right here and right now. If you don't understand exactly how the Most High is telling us, is warning us to get our stuff together, to get some real act right. I mean, it's not even written on the wall. It's written right in front of your face. How many times have you been through on Facebook or Instagram or something, and some disease face pops up, some disease hand or some disease body pops up? How many in the past 2 years? 2.5 years we've been dealing with a pandemic, a global pandemic that has taken countless lives, and now we got some new virus, which is dead. I ain't gonna say it's dead. I don't know if anybody's been killed from it, but damn, it looked like these mofos want to die from that. They looking like, like I ain't even gonna say the Walking Dead, but like how the way these zombies have been dead for X amount of time and they faces peeling and whatnot. They look diseased and disgusting. The Most High once upon a time sent, and it's still here, has sent a disease called AIDS. You know what I'm saying? Even back then, it was called like the gay cancer. You know what I'm saying? Even back then, in the 80s and whatnot, when it was this new thing and everybody was scared to touch anybody because they thought that they would get it by just touching it. Now they've come up with some sort of medicines and all this is technology has come up to whereas you don't even know who has this deadly disease, but the Most High sent something to show you exactly who has this disease, this new disease, this horrible, man. I can't even describe it. This monkeypox is something to behold. Like if you don't fear the Most High because of things that has happened in the past, just look at these diseases that he has out right now. Look at the plagues that the Most High is sending upon these disgusting people. If anybody who was an Israelite, who was Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, who is in danger of getting monkeypox, this is your warning. This is your wake-up call. This is the Most High telling you to stop that lifestyle. It is not an alternative lifestyle. That alternative lifestyle equals death. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to run as far away from that lifestyle and turn back to the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Because I tell you what, the men and the women who abide by the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments don't need to fear, getting monkeypox. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to fear these plagues and these diseases that the Most High is sending out. And if you don't know, just like I said, there's two things that you just can't get by. One is the plagues that's happening, COVID, predominant one, and the monkeypox, which is creeping up all over the place, all over the world. That thing they thought that they could contain it and have it, contained within a certain demographic or a certain geographical area. But man, this thing is spreading like wildfire. The Most High says it's going to be, it is going to be. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that man, that thing is fire. Hold up, turn that around, Bobby, if I can see that. Let me see. Wow. If you brothers and sisters can see, let's give a big hand to Shapat Thayak. Shapat Thayak, the brother who been making them crowns. He's putting his hand in these garments, and man, I know that's taking time. And then that right there on the back, Salakia. Y'all brothers and sisters are gonna see it. Once he gives the announcements at the end of the class, y'all are going to see exactly what in the world I'm talking about. If anybody who's ordered a crown from him, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And he put his heart and soul into them crowns. Now he's putting heart and soul into these garments. These garments is fire. But I digress. As I'm saying, you can't turn your head and miss what's going on in the world today. Have you tried to get a packet of chicken? Have you tried to get some lunch meat? You know what I'm saying? Have you tried to get your normal regular oxtails? Man, if you can get them prices are sky high. Prices are sky high. Command Joe YAHANNA has told us, has warned us, has told us to stock up on certain things, certain food items, certain dry goods. Why? Because of days like this. Days like this. These days are here. They're not going anywhere. Command Joe YAHANNA has actually put out, I want to say it's about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. The officer down in Texas, Salaki, if I forget the brother's name, but he put together a list of supplies that we should have. You know what I'm saying? And that list has gone out, almost 2 years ago. We're just recirculating it just to let you know, hey, you still need these items. Don't be slack on these things. Why? Because if you go, because I just seen a video, and it was near some military base. I forget what military base it was, but this brother was at some Walmart, and he showed how the way the shelves were totally empty. Only things that was on the shelves were the boxes that once held the food that was on there. Everything was totally empty. Even if you go out to your grocery store and just look. I remember as a kid that everything was just, stocked up. And when I say stocked up, if you go and take something off the shelf, you can see back. It's like 4 and 5 rows deep behind the thing that you just picked up. If you go and look at it now, it's all a facade. It's all a house of cards. Everything is being. It may look like everything is, up to the forefront. But in actuality, everything really, if you take that down, take a few of them items down, there is nothing behind it. We are on borrowed time right now. You know what I'm saying? You got the monkeypox, you got the famine. You know what I'm saying? Plague coming up. What's up?
We got a question in the chat.
What's the question?
Free thinkers never submit. My question is, we know that over 150 plus books were stolen. Why don't we, the organization, use those books as a reference as well, not only to find context reference, but to solidify the scripts?
150 books of what? That's my question to whoever asked that question. You're saying 150 books were stolen. 150 books for what? In context of what? What are you saying? What do you need? What are you asking? You said a whole lot, but really, what are you asking? You're saying that that the scriptures that we have right now, the work that has been done up until this point, the archaeological evidence that has been brought out up to this point, you're saying that's not enough for you to believe whatever it is that you want to believe? What it sounds like to me. It sounds like to me, honestly, is that this question is really not really a question. It's just an excuse to try and say, hey, we don't have all the answers, so then we should just go ahead and smoke weed. That's what it sounds like to me. He just wants an excuse to do whatever the hell it is he wants to do. You had something?
I believe it's a sister. I could be wrong, Mama Kashaw.
Sisters smoke weed too.
I don't have the exact precept, but I paraphrase the precept that General Muhammad gives for that.
What's up?
The precept where it says that the Lord gathered all the books that He wanted.
Pull it.
Come.
Pull it if you could, Baba Kashaw. But honestly, whenever anybody wants to come up and say, we don't have all the information, there's other information, just to try and make things, quote unquote, make things stronger. Really, they're trying to debunk anything the I.S.U.P.K is saying. And in order to do that, and the reason why they want to do that is honestly because they want to do the things that they've always done. And now they have an excuse. They want us to provide them with an excuse to do the things that they want to do. When if you're in here, we ain't gonna give you no excuse. If you want to do that, go ahead, do that. But there are consequences and repercussions. And if you really want to do that, especially now, you know what's waiting out there for you? You know what's waiting? I was just talking about this. There's famine waiting out there for you right now. There's COVID waiting out there for you right now. There's monkeypox. And there is no way, even in this day and age where there's a lot of people wearing, masks, you ain't escaping the ridicule that comes with that lifestyle, that quote unquote alternative lifestyle. If you want to add, 150 of these so-called books that you say was taken away, and you need to corroborate whatever it is that you don't believe, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. That's what I say. That's what was taught to me. We're laying out the facts to you. We've shown you we've given you the archaeological proof. We've given you proof from other books along with the scriptures. If you want to take that and say, hey, this is not the home of the truth, monkeypox is waiting for you. Yom Shvikatah. And with that, I pass the class to Captain Mashak Mayam.
Y'all trying to put me in Bible or something? Y'all block the whole thing off.
Salaki, sir.
And
turn it back long ways?
Nah, it's too hard for now. I would just leave it as is. All right. Salakia. Musa and Kret. 2 water, 2 Bakwash.
No sweat, sir.
Starting us up. Let's start it up. Yeah, what we looking like?
There was a question online is I have two questions.
All right.
The question that I was just addressing.
Which was what?
If I could read
Yeah, please.
Concert is there's a question from Free Thinkers Never Submit.
Mm-hmm.
My question is,
I believe that's somebody from UK. Go ahead.
Concert. My question is, we know that over 150 books were stolen. Why don't we, the organization, use those books as a reference as well, not only to find context reference, but to solidify the scriptures?
Books were stolen. Which books you talking about?
She doesn't say which books exactly or what book she's referring to. She just says it's over 150 plus books.
Okay, I mean, you had to specify which books. I believe there's a sister, I ain't too sure. But you had to specify which books specifically you're speaking about. I don't know what you mean by we know books were stolen. Like, what books we talking about here? You know what I mean?
And there's another question as well. A question from Sol Leon.
Mm-hmm.
Are all of our clothing supposed to be one material or just garments?
Okay, that's a good question. Why? What's his name?
Sol Leon.
Sol Leon. Sol. Why? What made you ask that question? What in particular made you? You know, are you asking that question based on a scripture? Did somebody say something to you about that? What's the reason you're asking that question? All right. When you get a chance, let me get a bottle of water and a couple of them paper towels over there. Baba Kusha. All right. Yeah. So what's the? Did he type back in or she? And what was the question you was addressing?
The books, the book question.
Okay.
Books, and why can we
So what?
Why can't we use that for what? Why can't we use those books to basically solidify what we're saying?
Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord.
You grab me you know that big mug?
Oh,
and the paper towel. No, he already two of you can't go. Why do it now? He already covering it.
Sorry. Book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail.
Right? We could use that, assuming she trying to say it's pairing up. But because, questions like that, you want to be specific. You want to get, okay, what books you're referring to and what knowledge you want to seek out of them. There are books you can refer to. If you want to, go see a doctor, everything he's telling you, so what? Everything he's telling you is from a book. You're referring to his books of study. You're going to build a building. There's books you had to refer. I don't know what she's talking about exactly. Like, just from training, it's good to have them verbalize what they want. Right? Which the books that are stolen, I don't know exactly what she's speaking about. You understand what I'm saying? Anything yet, Bakwash?
Last, sir.
All right. In the meantime, just put up a picture of Nancy Pelosi. In fact, play a video of the plane landing and China getting busy. You know what I mean? You can't get a wonton soup right now in Beijing because they mad that Miss Pelosi took her behind over there. Like, why is Nancy Pelosi in doing an Asia tour? Like, Nancy Pelosi hasn't done something like this ever at her status. Anybody know who Nancy Pelosi is? All right, break it down for me. When you play the video, make it cover up the whole screen, all right? You ain't got to play the sound. You could just make sure it's not NBC. Them niggas think they own air. They think they own everything. They think they own light. All right. So who's Nancy Pelosi? Go ahead.
So, like, if I could, Nancy Pelosi, I believe she's the Speaker of the House. She's the top Democrat in the House, in the Senate,
Mm-hmm.
and
Under Biden, who is if you want to say they're the top. Well, she's the top one in the Senate, but just Democrats, period. Them two would be 1 and 2, and of course she would be right now. So really, she is third in line to be president should something happen to Biden. Were you able to find anything yet?
So I have a little something.
You have to play the audio. You could mute the audio or whatever. You know what I mean? Might be able to help you out. Just make it full screen. You don't even need to see me on. I want to make that thing full screen because for some reason there wasn't a whole ton of coverage about this thing here, as far as I could see. You know what I mean? It was a lot of late response. It doesn't seem like people really care about it. I don't think they fully understand. You having a problem with it?
It's just
make the whole thing big. You don't have that's perfect. Solid. That's the word. Yeah. So who's Nancy Pelosi, right? Let's get it.
So she's the top, or the number 3 Democrat in the United States. She's the number 1 Democrat in the.
I told you somebody
House
paused the
Senate.
motherfucker.
So
I told you it was paused. Anyway, go ahead.
She is the Speaker of the House, and I believe she's not the third in line.
She is the third.
Third in line.
She's the third in line. If Joe Biden dropped dead tonight, it would be Kamala Harris first, then Nancy Pelosi. That's what makes this Taiwan trip so different. That and a few other things. There's a few other things, and it's so different because, of course, Kamala Harris, up to last year was black, or 2 years ago she's black, right? Before that, she's East Indian. But her most recent, what she identified with most recently, you could pull me back if you want, right? Or you can, do a split screen with it. Also, I believe Pagaiba, he requested to come on to do it online virtually tonight. If you want, you could send him the link. You could text him the StreamYard link so he could come on. We keep it up on the screen with me, right? With her coming off the plane. You know how to do it?
Right there.
Okay, solid. All right, I'm gonna stop watching this right here. You two are. Okay, so she's third in line if something would happen to Biden, right? And that's kind of important, especially now with him testing positive for the COVID. You know what I mean? Listen, big up Commander YAHANNA. He in Chicago, he did a speaking where he mentioned that. He was like, y'all not paying attention to the times. Like Biden getting it is, it's supposed to let you know that the Lord could touch you anytime. You're not untouchable. You get the point? And of course, they thought it was out the woods, and then he tests positive again, like he's sick. Now, Biden ain't no spring chicken. He ain't crime bill Joe Biden. You know what I mean? He's, I don't know, what's that place with them Golden Girls from? He is Golden Girls good, Joe Biden. He's that, he in that league now. So at his age, something like that is, is very, dangerous for his health. No matter how much money he have or influence or whatever, something like that is very dangerous for him. You get the point? So, and of course, Pelosi being with the amount of power she has, like that woman is an extremely powerful woman. She's extremely powerful in America. She's this powerful where, when she announced the Asia tour, Biden wasn't with it, right? The Biden administration tried to talk her out of it. She said, you know what? Who are the keys for Air Force One? Let's, give me 2 fighters and Air Force One. I'm going. And she went, and they've kind of pushed the Biden administration into support for her. Go ahead.
It's like, if I could, she's always been like that. Even with Trump, with that support, that insolent, clapping.
She is what America would want a woman president to be. You understand? Like the closest thing to her who was running was Hillary. That woman who ain't taking shit off of nobody. She could hold her own with the men. You know, she's, you know, that's really what it is. So now this year with Nancy Pelosi is like a flex. That's really what it is. So we're going to get into it a little bit more. And some history with China and Taiwan and, you know, what's going on with them. So did anybody come back with the, to clear up any one of the questions?
Last, sir.
Okay. All right. So no sweat. So what was the second question? I'll take that one. If Free Thinkers Never Submit comes on back, deal with the other one.
Okay. The question was from Leon. Are all of our clothing supposed to be one material or just the garments?
Okay, no sweat. And you said that person never cleared up, you know, where they get it from or anything, right?
Last.
Okay, so from just from experience, usually people who ask this question, they get it from that scripture with the not mixing with cotton and something. You know what I'm talking about? All right, somebody pull it up for me. All right. Is anybody using that black extension? No? You could just grab it from me. Put this through. The light is on it? Yeah, I could use the other side of it. That's the what? No, don't take it out. To what?
Pushing it wasn't all the way in, sir.
Okay. To what? All right, find that for me. Give me diverse garments. I think it's diverse garments is the phrase. Give me diverse garments. Give me diverse measures. Unjust measures or unjust balances in Psalms or Proverbs. You have diverse measures?
I got
diverse garments. All right. Give me that one first.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together.
Right, as of woolen. Usually, people who ask this question, this is why from this scripture. Right? Read it one more time. Go ahead. Oh, Salaki. Let me know if they chime back in Bakwash.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen or linen together.
All right. That's it? Any more? For that verses, that's it? Okay.
And I have diverse measures.
Okay. Well, let's start with the garments first, right? The garments of diverse sorts. Let's start with that one first. All right. Any more? Where is it?
What verse?
Deuteronomy 22 and 11.
When you're done, go ahead and try.
Deuteronomy 22 and 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together.
Okay. Any more?
It says, thou shalt, verse 12, thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four corners of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself.
Okay, so this is for sure the garment scripture. It letting you know you got. Let me know if there's a feedback too. All right. If anybody gets a feedback, just let me know. It might give something. I'm not sure. Shalom, sis. How you doing? Yashimata Bashim Yashai. How y'all doing? Yashimata Bashim Yashai. Y'all all right?
Yes.
Okay. Any is there any feedback or is it too wild?
No one is saying anything about that, sir.
Okay, no sweat. Okay, this is just in case, all right? Okay, so let's get that one with the diverse garments. All right. So now somebody who's reading this, wait, say it again. Go ahead.
Someone's saying they can't hear you.
What is this? Facebook or YouTube?
This is YouTube, sir.
Check your phone and see if it's a problem. I don't want to jam it up.
Crown.
Is it playing? Let me see.
I can hear you. I just heard you move.
Okay. So it's not our stream. Okay, let the brother or the sister, whoever it is, Korah, just refresh your page and volume up. Okay, so where we do you run me one? Yeah.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together.
Right. So now people who, of course, is not in the truth. Right. What do I mean by not in the truth? You're not in the Israelite school or UPK.
Right.
You haven't learned from authorized prophets of the Lord. You know, you're getting your teaching from Straya. Have you been to school? Aren't you tired of sitting on that damn couch? Get up and do something with your life. Join Straya. And that's where you get your teaching from, right? This year, people who don't learn it from the UPK, they see this and think it's a sin to the garment, right? That's not what it's talking about. What it's talking about here is, come on.
It's talking about not selling your brother something other than what it appears to be. He said he's buying linen, don't sell him woolen and linen.
Okay, more than okay. It's that's the spirit of it. But what it's saying here, when I say don't wear it, meaning don't have that garment of diverse materials, because what do people do with garments in our culture? We eventually pass them down or sell them. Get the point? That's how you get into making your headpieces, right? You made them for who first? You made them for yourself. Somebody saw it and said, damn, I want one like that. And then you did what? Sold it. You get the point? Nathak made these. He didn't make them for anybody first. Nathak wore a garment where he chiseled the leather at a Passover. Right at Passover in the place where Malcolm X got shot. I always forget the name of it. Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard, somewhere in there in New York. That's the first time he wear it with the headpiece with the lion on it and it's a big breastplate with leather with his name on it. And he got into the leather making, and then people is like, shit, that shit's fly. Let me buy it all for you. You get the point? Most people Israel has always been creating their own way, their own garments, and people would buy it from you. And of course, if it's mixed when somebody's buying it, because they're so enamored by it, you don't really care about it. You might say, yeah, this 24 karat gold. You see the diamonds? Knowing full well you don't got diamonds in that crown, or this is leather, but you see this is sterling silver. No, the Lord don't want you putting yourself in a position to defraud your brother, right, or sister. It's really talking about brotherhood. This is a brotherhood scripture. Give me 25 and 15. Come on.
God, sir, he he responded back.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Sorry about that. The reason I asked."
So, like, Bakwash, you probably want to. You could kill the other page. You could close it off. Don't have the pages running while you're streaming. It's going to slow things up. If you're done with it, close it. You know what I mean? Go ahead. The Alhambra Ballroom. So what? I.S.U.P.K. Alhambra Ballroom, right? Yeah. Go ahead.
So he said, "Sorry about that. The reason I asked was because Deuteronomy 22:11 talks about our garments not being of diverse sorts. I didn't know if that applied to pants, and if we consider t-shirts as garments."
Right. Well, that's what I'm breaking down now. I hope you could hear it. If you missed what I said, just after the class, you could go back. So it's not talking about it's a sin to wear it. This is talking about having it so you would defraud your brother, right? Meaning he might see your garments, he might see your pants with the fringes, he might see something you're wearing that's fly as hell. He like it. He might make you an offer where you was like, shit, I ain't paid but $9.95 for this. Oh, you want? I'll get 100, brother. What? Oh man, this is my favorite. I'll get you 120, 135. All right, man. Listen, you ain't got to. You my brother, man. Just give me the 100. You paid $9.95 for this shit, but it looks so good. He wants it. He thinks it's one material. Well, this thing is. You know how Israel is. We underlay for the overplay. You know what I mean? We mix the genuine shit with the the fugazi shit. Israel is. That's how we do. So it might be this cotton and polyester or whatever, but the combination of the shit look good, it look right, and you might pass it off as 100% something when it's not. And the Lord doesn't want you to. He doesn't want you to defraud your brother. Not so much to have it, but more so in defrauding him. All right. Read it one more. Skip up to verse 9. To my man, my nigga, boy. He's some honest brothers right here. Could have said I lost the key. Yeah, go ahead.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 9.
Thou
shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds.
Diverse
seed.
Mm-hmm.
Lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled.
What does that mean? Why you don't want to sow the vineyard with diverse seeds?
Because if you plant two different crops within the same area, it could hurt one plant more from taking the nutrients from the other, or possibly kill off that.
I'll take that. But okay, why we say you don't want it defiled? It says defiled. Defiled means what? Not supply. What's going on, sis? How you feeling? Not supply over there trying to make me not notice us staring into the space over here. All right. What does defile means? Go ahead.
Like ruin?
Yep. So, okay, yes, but no. That not enough. You could probably look it up. You might get it, full meaning. Anybody else? Tomorrow?
It's chapter 22, verse
22, and we're at verse 9 right now, but the first scripture was in verse 11, but we skipped up 2 verses to verse 9.
What's the question?
What does the word defile mean? Please.
I have the word defile: to make unclean or impure, such as to corrupt the purity or perfection.
That's what you want. To make unclean or what? Impure.
Impure.
To corrupt the
purity or perfection.
The purity or the perfection of something. So now if you sow in your vineyard with two diverse seeds, what could happen that would make it impure or to corrupt the purity or to, what is it again? Salakia. The first one.
Unclean or impure.
To make it impure or to corrupt the purity of something or the what?
Or to corrupt the purity or perfection.
Or the perfection. What could make it imperfect?
They don't grow like they're supposed to.
Why?
I mean, they too close to each other.
They're too close. That's one thing. What else?
Oh, they two different. Is the one of them may grow better in this soil, where the other one won't.
One may overshadow the other.
That's true. Okay, what could happen is you could get a whole totally new vine. It's called not cross-pollination. Like grafting. You ever heard about grafting? Right? Where you take one fruit, a tree or the stalk of some fruit or something, and you cut a slit into it. Then you take a shoot from another seed, whether it's the branch or even a little seed that just germinated. Some people do it like that. And you cut in a slit into the stem of it. So now it's like, imagine you peeling off something like this. Not totally off, right? You splitting it open. So it's like it's a pocket you created in the stem. You put some soil in there, and you put the seed or the stalk or the new shoot in there, and you tape it up. What happens is, let's say it's give me a fruit. Let's say it's an apple and an orange. I don't think you could do it, but come on.
They got like apple pears.
Yeah, like that. Just imagine something like that, where you have an apple and a pear. You graft it. I'm not sure if you could do it with those things, but you graft it. What happens is the one you put in, let's say it's the pear you're putting into that apple main stalk. The tree that growing out of that, the fruit that comes from that is going to be a mixture of the pear and the apple. You're not going to get full apples. That seed might be a little cheaper than the apple seed. So some bright farmer might say, you know what? They're coming out red anyway. Them niggas ain't gonna know this is apples. Oh, this tastes different. What's this? Oh man, the soil here. And he sell you some cherry apple, some bullshit. You get the point? You know what brothers understand it with? Pit bulls.
Right.
Brothers understand that shit with a pit bull. Yeah, that's a blue nose. Nah, brother, that ain't no blue nose. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a ridgeback, blue nose, humpback, something, something, something. Nah, brother, that's not that. Brothers could understand that part. So it's that. It's the same, like you go to buy that dog, you paying what, $2,000 for a puppy or whatever they're charging now. Brother trying to sell you something cross with, I don't know, a golden retriever. You're not going to buy it because that's not, ridgeback blue nose. You get the point? It's not that. You don't want it. So it's that thing there where he's saying, don't sow the seed with diverse, don't sow your vineyard with diverse seeds. Give me the next verse.
Okay.
Come on, quickly, please.
Verse 10. Thou shalt not plow with an axe and an ass together.
Read it one more time.
For Deuteronomy 22:10. Thou shalt not plow with an axe, with an ox and an ass together.
Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together. It's unbalanced. You get the point? It's an unbalanced thing. It's not, you ain't gonna get that final result you want. You get the point? And of course, once again, you run the risk of what? Them too. You get the point? Go ahead.
Down, verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together.
Mm-hmm. Right. So that's okay. This is more so again to make sure you don't cheat one another. You understand? This is to make sure you don't cheat one another. Let me see. Give me the first verse in Deuteronomy 22. Anybody, whoever reading.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 1. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or his sheep go astray,
Mm-hmm.
and hide thyself from them.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt in any case bring them again unto thy brother.
What's the purpose of it? Is it a sin to run from and hide from a sheep or an ox? You understand what I'm saying? The spirit of this is looking out for your brother. So it's running down, it's giving you scenarios for that situation. It's giving you not every single verse, because here's where you have thou shalt not wear what pertaining to a woman pertaining to a man, which is still brotherhood. But this here, the diverse garments, is talking about not having it so that we don't defraud one another. Not so much that it's a sin to not have it. You get the point? It's not so much that part. Because if that's the case, your garment had to be the same material as fringes. You get the point? Your headpiece couldn't have diamonds in it. It couldn't have leather on it with whatever the satin, or I don't know what this is, but that type of material. The thread is something different. You get the point? Is if that's the case, it couldn't do it. It's not talking about it. It's talking about having it so that we would defraud one another. Once again, the Lord knows his people. You understand? The Lord knows. You know, you're watching children play, and you know somebody always getting over on somebody. You're gonna make a rule to not even allow, you know, the thing to happen. That's what it's talking about, right? Give me 25 and 15.
Okay. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verse 15. But thou shalt have a perfect and just weight, a perfect and just measure.
Mm-hmm.
Shalt thou have.
Thou shalt have a perfect and just weight. A perfect and just measure shall thou have. Why? Come on.
You don't want to skimp your brother on the money you pay.
How would you scam him?
Well, like say, you're saying $5 a pound for something, and he pays his $5, and you give him 15 ounces.
Right. The scale. Remember, scale, you would have to balance whatever is on one side, the produce side or whatever you're selling, with the counterweight on the other side. So now your counterweights can't say 10 pounds, but really weigh 4. Because the weights will have the marking on them. Like you go to the gym, you see the weights. The counterweight can't, it has to be just, it has to be true. If it's 10 pounds, it's 10. It can't be 9.7. Because if somebody buying a big amount, that 0.3 that's off of the 10 pounds, it will add up. And when they think they're buying 100, they really got 98, which could be a huge difference. That happens where? At the gas pump. You get the point? That happens where a gas pump, gas price is high, niggas turn into gas pumps engineers. You got to pump it slow because the foam would do this. You ever see them videos? I'm telling you, don't squeeze all the way down because that's why the gas finished. It's, you know, everybody wants to be dealt with fairly. And that's it. Don't nobody likes to get robbed or scammed or feel like somebody got over on them. It's just, you know, that's just, nobody wants to feel that way. And the Lord is trying to ensure it the same way for us. Come on.
Is that a real thing?
What?
You pump it too fast, the foam in your tank.
Nigga, I don't know, man. I don't know. When I get back in the car, once the needle move from where it was to where it need to be, that's all I care about. A few times I get in the car and the bitch ain't move, and I go back in there and, you know, I had some words with the Ethiopian, and then I left, and then I went back in the car and he should move, and I said Salakia to the Lord for embarrassing him in front of the Ethiopian. I didn't go say Salakia to the Ethiopian. You know what I mean? But I don't know about that shit. You know what I mean? You'd have to talk to one of them about that. I don't know. I know about this here. I know this is a just weight, and what's in here is tried and true and just. Give me the ones in Psalms and Proverbs, I believe. Are we good with that? Anybody? Any more questions before?
Sir. He says, I understand now. I appreciate it.
No sweat. And the other one, Free Thinker Summit, never came back.
Sir.
Okay, no sweat. Right, I'm assuming what she's talking about is, you know, books stolen from the Bible. those books that there's no books stolen from the Bible. There was books that were, I'm not answering her question, I'm just saying if that was she was asking. Were books that were removed on purpose from the Bible, which is called what? The Apocrypha. Right? I think the Apocrypha literally means hidden books. You somebody look it up and see. See what Apocrypha means to me. Right? I believe it literally means hidden books or books of the shadows, something like that. Some different way like that. Right? No sweat, Musa and Craig. You have some Shabbat, brother.
Shalom, y'all about Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
All right, no sweat. If you have any questions, you know what to do, all right? So anything yet? With what are we talking about? Apocrypha? No sweat. All right, if go ahead, brother.
I have something from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. It says writings or statements of dubious authenticity, books included in the Septuagint and Vulgate, but excluded from the Jewish and Protestant canons of the Old Testament, and then an early Christian writings not included in the New Testament.
Early Christian writings not included, of course, would be the Apocrypha, but I believe it literally translates into hidden books.
I've seen that, sir, where it says that. I'm not
sure exactly where it is.
Sir.
Might be in the front of the Apocrypha or something. But I believe it means hidden books or hidden words or something like that. Right? So we have those books, right? We have those books. And if that's what she was referring to, then for sure, that precept you pulled, Shapat, is what you'd want. You could read it now if you don't mind, please. Bukwash, in the meantime, go ahead.
She says, I'm here specifically the book of Jasper, which references the book of Job.
Which is referenced in the book of Job. That's what she mean?
I'm not sure. She says specifically the book of Jasper, which references the book of Job.
Which references, okay, well, I don't know if it references Job. I've never read the book of Jasper or Jasher or what's the other one they always like to quote? Enoch, the book of Enoch. I think there's one more. Jasper, Jasher, Enoch. There's that book with some fool named Lilith, who they say had sex with Adam in the garden. I don't know where the hell they're getting this shit from. The same people who believe in those books, they also believe that the Lord tied an angel up under one of the pyramids in Egypt. Right. And he's bound up there right now in chains because it's written in the book of Enoch. Oh, God. And the front of I'm gonna order the book just to be able to teach. Oh, the front of the book of Enoch, when you open it on the inside, you open the book right here, like how you open the Apocrypha. Hold on. So like how it says here in the Apocrypha, translated out of the original tongues and the former translations, diligently compared and received by His Majesty's special command. Right? His Majesty, of course, is King James, and he ordered the translation. It says in the book of Enoch, this book is a book about the book of Enoch. Right. It's not the book of Enoch. There is no book of Enoch. It doesn't even exist. Right. The book of Enoch that people refer to today is some book somebody wrote about the book. Like you go to school and you write a book report. Right. That's really what it is in essence. Oh. Right. So it's not even, something to consider in like that.
So like what makes sure.
Go ahead.
Those same cats that believe that, they believe in the fallen, the angels came down and had sex with humans, the Nephilim.
Exactly. That's where they get the whole thing from. That's what I was talking about, where they say there's an angel bound up in chains with a padlock.
Right.
under a pyramid, and he's under the pyramid, and when he gets free, all hell will break loose.
Right.
Yeah, he better not come now. He gonna get monkeypox. Yeah, I mean, he better wait about a season or two until it's safe out in these streets. Go ahead.
So I guess another question from Sonia.
1 second. Let me just finish this one with the sister.
Okay.
Right. The book of Joshua and stuff like that. Sis, what you want to do is come into the truth, right? Come into the truth fully. I done seen your name for years over there in the UK classes. You should go in class and sit and fully get invested in the Bible, right? The book of Joshua probably referenced the book of Job, just like the Quran references the 5 books of Moses. It doesn't make the Quran valid. It doesn't make the book of Jasper or Joshua valid or Enoch valid. The Bible is valid. Read the scripture for me, huh?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 16.
Mhm.
Seek ye out the book of the Lord.
Say it again.
Seek ye out the book of the Lord.
Go ahead.
And read. No one of these shall fail.
Right? Not one of these shall fail. Not one of these books shall fail. If those books were stolen, what does that mean? That's a question for the sister. Can't wait for her to answer. But if the books were stolen, what does that mean? They failed. That's what it means. They failed. There's nothing that the Lord wants us to know that today is, in terms of the scriptures, that is hidden.
Right.
This is it. You get the point?
Okay.
Those books failed. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. None shall want her mate.
None shall want her mate. Meaning you shouldn't seek out a book to get some sort of knowledge to marry, which is what a mate is, to marry with the Bible.
Right.
The Bible it stands by itself.
Right.
It's holy. Those books are not holy.